Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Well, this is different. Welcome, welcome to my second ever live. Yeah, my second ever live. In the space of doing YouTube. Just kind of, enjoying this different different way of doing it for the time being, because a lot's happening. I haven't got my other camera for Funfairs at the moment, so just finding out different ways of doing things at the moment, and just came up with this idea. And so today's little stream is just going to be there's going to be 5 different battles of, well, 4 are going to be like my own like ride types I've been on and what I've really enjoyed, and the 5th one is kind of like is 2 ride types I haven't been on. One of them I'll explain when I get there, but one of them I really want to go on, and I know where it is, and I hope to go on it. So it's just getting there. But I'll come to that later in the stream. Yeah, so the first 4 battles are going to be all different varying ride types that I've been on, I've done, I've experienced them. I have quite well knowledge of them, and yeah, just feel free to chip in, ask any questions throughout them, and I'll do my best to answer them. So without further ado, hope everyone's doing well on this very warm Thursday. Heat wave's amazing, isn't it, at the moment? It's just, I want it to stop. We've had like high 20s for how long now? Like, Thunderworld's around the corner. This temperature needs to go. It needs to just cool down a little bit. That'd be great. just a tinsy bit. But looks like that ain't gonna happen, is it? Not for the time being, anyway. So, yeah. Just we'll see if anyone joins. But yeah, so we're just gonna kind of like put different ride types up against each other, chat about them, discuss them, what's their pros and cons, my own personal opinions, and kind of just like rate them, and then at the end of it we'll see who kind of comes out on top. And the last battle I have, like I said earlier, is going to be kind of like just I haven't ridden both ride types on the 5th battle, so it's going to be done a little bit differently, where I've seen both of them in action. I've seen a lot of them in and around the circuit. I've seen them operate quite a lot. I got quite a good sense of them. So yeah, it's just putting that with what I have, and from that alone, we'll try and rate them that way, sort of thing. So yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll go back to the starting swim pages, see if a couple more people join, and then we'll continue with the battle. Commencely. Okay. Right. So this is going to be our first battle. It's going to be we've put them into 4 different themes, 4 different categories to rate them on. So I've got a separate spreadsheet over like like on my screen here that I will fill out so to keep record of. So we have on the left we have a well-known ride type within the traveling circuit. They're widely known as freakouts, like inward-facing pendulum rides. They've been about for quite a few years. They're very well loved, very well enjoyed. A lot of people do prefer these over its, in my opinion, competitor, which is known to the enthusiasts as a confolding group. The main difference is the way you're sat. So inwards facing you typically find on freakouts, and then outward facing is confolding groups. So you typically get, that's how you determine those two apart. They're relatively quite simple to like get around. They're only really on one truck. So that's not too bad. And yeah, I have done both ride types. I know how both ride types feel. I have done, this will test my memory. I've done 2 freakouts of traveling the fairgrounds. The only reason why I've done 2 is because my first ever one doing was down in Paynton when I was like back in 2021? No, 22. It might have been 20. No, it was earlier than that. It was about 2018, I think, 2018, 2019. I done my first KMG freakout. on Paynton Showground. It was one of the Rolands, um, and it was actually rather enjoyable. It was very, very enjoyable. Um, but it's just because the cycle typically runs of it. It's a small spin, pendulum out, and then fast spin whilst pendulating up to its full height. And the amount of intensity as you get as you come through the station is just, yeah, it's a lot of force, and I think that's one of the reasons why I prefer um, the outward seating rides, because I can actually see where I'm going, and the force doesn't feel as much um, typically as I would normally get. Um, but when it comes to a confolding group, I've done 5 different variations of the confolding group now. I mean, I can't remember how many there are in total. If someone knows, please put it in the chat. But um, there's about I'm pretty sure there's at least 10 traveling the UK circuit now. Um, but you do have um, really, really quite a lot of them. So in that, in my own biased opinion, only because, and the other one I tried wasn't a KMG, it was a different manufacturer. It was slightly more wider seats. You might know the freak out I'm on about if you've been on it. Um, but it's still inward facing seats, but it doesn't go as high, and it's a little bit more of a tamer freak out. So if you ever do see that freak out about and you're not sure, I would recommend going on that one, as it's a little bit more tamer than a KMG built freak out, and it's kind of just eases you into it, um, which is which is what you want. So especially if you've never been on a freak out before. So our rating system is on speed, atmosphere, intensity, and then theme and artwork. So for Tornado, this specific KMG freakout in question, I've seen it a couple of times. It's been to the Balloon Fiesta. It's been to where has it been to? Um, Swindon. That was it. So it's been to Swindon, Balloon Fiesta. Those are the 2 places I've seen it. And from what I've seen, I would give it quite a high speed rating. So because it is quite fast, especially when the full spin starts. So for that, I'm going to give it an 8. Now the atmosphere, it's always got a laser on it, as far as I'm aware. Last time I seen it, it did. Also, it had it has its lighting, which is very, very cool in the night. Um, it has some smoke as well, so I'm going to give it 10 out of 10 atmosphere. Now the intensity, again, not this particular freak out, I can't say for, um, but for that I'm going to give it a questionable 7, because most freakouts do have um, quite a strong pull to them as they go through the station. And then theme and artwork. I mean, the theme of Tornado, it does match its theme very, very well, and it is very nice. The artwork is also very, very nice. So I am going to give it a 10 out of 10 for that. Now, this is a slightly biased opinion. You are welcome to correct me in chat if you'd like. um, But this new confolding group has only just recently gone to the circuit. Um, it's only been out in the circuit for a couple of months. Edward Stokes purchased it, and they are the only owners of it as of now. He is yet to have sold it to anyone. It is his brand new ride that he's debuting himself. He hasn't sold it, he hasn't got rid of it, he's still running it, and I'm pretty sure the Stokes are very happy with their purchase because it is a top-notch machine. So this was seen in Weston. Speed was, I mean, I'm also going to include smoothness in this as well, because some confolding groups are very much known for um, like as it comes to like the crux of the going up, there's a distinctive like pull as the motor kicks in. But then so this this confolding group didn't have it. It was utterly butterly smooth, and that is that is a term, and it is an interesting definition of this, but it is the best accurate definition, and the speed is also perfect. So for that matter, it is going to get a 10 out of 10. Now, atmosphere during the day um, it doesn't have any lights on it yet. When I saw it in Western, it had only been out for like a month or two, so they hadn't had a chance to get lights on it yet, lasers or like effects or anything. Um, but the actual atmosphere itself, it does create good atmosphere, because the jingles are just perfect, always good music on it. So for that, I am going to give it an 8. The intensity, it was very intense still, even though it was smooth. Um, I mean, I only done one ride of it, but if I had done 2 or 3, I probably would have struggled because it is still very intense, and the smoothness of it kind of just like catches you out almost. So I'm going to give it a 9 for that matter because of um, how the smoothness almost plays tricks on you. And then theme and artwork. Um, well, I mean, the theming is top notch. It's absolutely amazing in that. And then the artwork, again, they don't typically tend to have a backflash because of the nature of them, but it's still an absolute, for that matter, it does get a 10 out of 10 because it's just, yeah, it's really, really good. So yeah, now, so out of those two categories, I think the overall point has to go to, see, as much as I've been biased, Tornado has come out on top. Obviously, if I was doing this as a biased competition, then Hulk Smash would win. But no, this is gonna be a fair game. This is gonna be a fair battle. So um, I'm gonna give Tornado the win. Um, only because um, only because um, it's it's a very well-renowned freakout, traveling the circuit. Everything's there. You get the whole package. It's all, just right. And I'm not a fan of freakouts, but I respect it from an off-ride point of view. um, Now, don't get me wrong. I do love Hulk Smash. I absolutely love it. But I just feel like give it a couple more months once it's had a bit of extra time to get its atmosphere up, then it'll be a 10 out of 10 all ride category all day long. Just, that's just because of the nature of the ride. Right, second battle coming up. So the winner of the first battle is Tornado. Congratulations, Tornado. Um, if you disagree, please feel free to write it in the chat. I mean, I'm quite torn down the middle. I've both ridden freakouts, you know, I've ridden confolding groups. I'm, it's, I prefer confolding groups. I love confolding groups, but then because of everything that, just because of that freak out in particular, I've seen it quite a few times. It's always up there in sound, jingles. It always has everything going for it, every single cycle, all the time. And Hulk Smash, only because it's new to the circuit, it's still finding its feet a little bit. It's up there. Like, considering it's just come out into the circuit, it is up there. And I reckon give it a couple of months and it will have really quite high potential. And it will be a really, really good it'll be a really good competitor. But I think it just needs a little bit more time. I mean, I haven't seen it recently, so if anyone has any more added information to that, that'd be beneficial. Um, but as of now, I think that's a solid Tornado win for now. Don't get me wrong, confolding the Hulk Smash is not far behind. Hulk Smash is really not that behind. But Tornado just wins. Okay, our next two ride types. So these two. Now, Set of Frogs. Um, I've I've been a fan of since I was quite young. Um, like before YouTube started, before all that started. Um, I One of the main rides I'd try and go on when I was a kid was a Set of Frogs. I just absolutely loved them. Couldn't get enough of them. I've been on so many different ride types, so many different variations. Um, I think I know there's more than just Andrew Holmes's Set of Frogs in Wales that I've been on. Um, there's there's quite a few traveling the UK, north and south, east and west. There's just loads traveling around. I've done quite a few, majority of them, not majority of them, sorry, quite a few. Um, and they are just all round really good rides, and the cycles, they do change. They do change. They are different, they're not all the same. Every single showman tries to provide some kind of different um, some type of different, like, slightly different program, slightly different speed settings. Some go backwards, some goes forwards. Some do both. It just, it's very nice to go on a Set of Frogs because you just never know what you're gonna get. You just never know. It's some of them are guessable. Some showmen have their distinct operations, and some always change it up. So it's always, it's just really, really quite nice. And then on the right, you've got what I've experienced, like I've been trying to, well, track down for the past couple of years. Finally ticked it off. I think it was earlier in the year, in and around Easter time. I went to Southampton, finally tracked it down, and I mean, I've seen so many videos, pictures um, of it in vlogs of when it was Cy Abbott's, and it was just, the atmosphere was always top notch. It was always it always seemed to go faster than other Super Bobs. Um, and it was just absolutely yeah, it just looked insane, and I just could never find it or get down there to do it because I would find it and then not be able to get down there. Um, so when I finally got to tick it off in September, it was, yeah, it was absolutely incredible to try it for the first time, and it just being a part of that ride experience for 3 minutes. It was such a joy. So I think from this it's clear who's going to win between these two. Um, but even still, we are going to give it the benefit of the doubt and go through the categories. Um, so these two road types in particular, um, very enjoyable, very, very good. Um, yeah, it was always fun being on a set of frogs, and I have done quite a few Super Bobs. Um, yeah, I've enjoyed them, the nature of them, and yeah, it's just it's just something that I've added to my list of ride types um, to look out for and experience different ones of. Right, so let's start the process. So let's start the head to head. So speed on the can. It's not the fastest set of frogs I've done. Um, I have done sets of frogs that can go very, very fast. Um, there has some that's gone quite slow. There has some that's gone extremely fast. Can is a, about it's a little bit more than in the middle. So I'd give it about a 6 because um, it's not slow that it's boring, and it's not fast that it's like a proper thrill ride. It's a nice speed, the Can. It's not overly fast and it's not overly slow. Atmosphere. This is where it shines because the the actual like the whole package you get with the Can. Um, like the jingles match the name of the ride. You've got a great lighting package on it in the when the sun sets. Um, it is probably one of the better. I mean, I do know there is a set of frogs that I'm yet to try that's up north, Mexican Wave. It travels mainly typically around the north, I think, as far as I'm aware. Um, and I'm yet to ride that. I do want to experience the Mexican Wave. I've seen a lot of things about it, heard a lot of good things about it. Desperate to try it. Um, Yet to do, which is a little bit disappointing, but it is something that I want to do. Yeah, so the actual I would give this in terms of atmosphere, it does do much better, so I'll give it a 9. Now the intensity of it, it's not that intense. Um, it's it's got a good bounce. It's not a sharp bounce, um, like I've experienced in some sets of frogs. Um, it's a decent bounce. It's not a little bounce, and it's not like really quite a forceful bounce. It's nice in the middle, so I'll give it a 5. And then the theme and the artwork easily deserves a 10 out of 10 because it's themed very well. The artwork is very, very good. It's just an all-round good ride. Now, the New York deserves very high ratings because the speed is 10 out of 10. It is probably one of the fastest Super Bobs I've done, and is out there currently. I would, in my opinion, I don't think there's any that are faster. There's probably some that go a lot faster, but I'm yet to experience them. Atmosphere again, the jingles, the theming, um, the music, it matches that aesthetic that they're going for exactly to detail, which is why they get a 10 out of 10. And intensity, even though it is a very, very fast Super Bowl, it's, I mean, you do get a lot of lateral Gs because you are being constantly pulled like that, going around every single corner. But it's not like, it's not really pulling you, so it's not overly that bad. So I'll give it an 8 out of 10 on it, intensity. And then theme and artwork, again, 10 out of 10 because it's just, it is that good. So for that reason, New York wins. I can spell. Yeah, which hopefully you will agree with, because in my opinion, it is a very, very good Super Bowl. Right, we will take a short little break. And then we will continue with the last two battles. So just take a little break. I'm gonna go and get a little drink of water, and then we're back to finish off the fourth and fifth battle. Okay. So, hello, welcome back. So the next battle, which I have, sorry, I meant this one. Well done, me. So the next battle, is now this one is kind of a clear winner, just by the pairing. But then the sizzler I've chosen is, I mean, some of the newer, when it comes to sizzlers, you tend to find the older the PWS Mark model, the faster it goes. That's what I've tend to notice. The newer PWS models don't tend to go as fast, and I don't know what that's due to. There is a good reason. I don't know the specific reason to that. But the older PWS models and makes, they typically go a little bit faster, and they're a little bit more forceful, and some might say a little bit more enjoyable. Um, so in this, and then yeah, to the left, you've got, in my own opinion, what's rated as the number one Matterhorn traveling the UK. Obviously, you have got quite a strong contender, which is Scotland's Turbojet. The Wheatley's, I think it is. Who owns that? Um, I'm yet to try it. I've never been up to Scotland to try any of their rides. Heard a lot of good things, seen a lot of good things. Really want to try it. Same with New York, New York. But I managed to get try New York, New York. So in terms of like how to rate these, I've got to try and not be biased because my biasness will make IceJet win. And in all retrospect, these two rides are very, very good rides in their own right. Um, so IceJet speed, I mean, no biasness at all. It is 10 out of 10. The speed is something else. Atmosphere, atmosphere. If you get IceJet on a full ride, oh wow, it is a very good atmosphere. Even on a like half ride, it is still incredible atmosphere. The intensity, it's so forwards on IceJet, not that bad. As soon as you go backwards, completely different story. The intensity goes through the roof. it it is a lot more intense and a lot more it is quite forceful when you go backwards. Theme and artwork, again, it is 10 out of 10 because it's probably one of the best looking Matterhorns as well out there. Now for Denzel Danta's Sizzler, I've ridden this countless times. It's been to the Bloom Fiesta, it's been up near Cribs Causeway, in Patchway. It's been Bridgewater, I think. I've seen his Sizzler loads of different places now. It goes to a lot of places. It travels this Sizzler quite a lot, and it is quite fast. So for that, it gets an 8 out of 10. Atmosphere, it does. It's not. I mean, the music's good, the jingles are good, but it doesn't always. That it's not. So unfortunately, it is going to get a 4 out of 10 for that. Intensity, again, the G's when you like get shoved to the side, they are quite powerful. This Sizzler sometimes no, it doesn't. That's Darren Matthews. I'm thinking of Darren Matthews. I was thinking that's Denzel Dantes goes to Thunderwell, but it doesn't because that's Darren Matthews. Intensity, I mean, even though it is quite fast, it's not always that intense. So for that, it's going to get a 5. And the theme and artwork, I mean, it has got a generic theme, and the artwork isn't, so I thought it does get a 3. So, with no surprise, IceJet does win. but that is genuinely because Ice Jet is really, really good. The next battle we have, which I kind of teased after the break, after the break, is a Tagada and a Super Bowl. Now, I have done one Tagada. I have done a Tagada. I was quite I was quite close to throwing up on it, which is why I haven't ridden one since. I don't really know of any Tagadas that I could probably try without feeling sick because they're all quite close to one another, quite yeah, they are quite powerful. So it's quite difficult to kind of I don't know, just it was I can't remember which Tagada it was, but it made me feel very sick. And I was quite lucky not to throw up. And then Super Bowl, there's two, I believe, that are traveling the UK. You have the one owned by Danters, and then oh my god, who's the other one? I can't remember the other owner. Um, and then you have a showman up north, or in the Midlands slash north, who own the other Super Bowl, and I'm yet to try that Super Bowl. Yeah, so this Tagada in particular looks quite fast from what I've seen, because I've seen it quite a while, seen quite often of it. I'm going to give it a 7. The atmosphere is always amazing whenever I look at it. And then intensity with the speed, I'm going to go 7. And then the theme and artwork. Now, the theme and the artwork of it, it's got quite a nice theme to it. It's got, quite good artwork. So I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 for its theme and artwork. Now, Super Bowl, I've done. It is fast, and there has been occasions where it can go faster than what I've ridden it as. So for that, I'm going to give it a 7, not an 87, 7. Its atmosphere, there is strobe lighting, there is good jingles, there is good like general lighting. So for that, I am going to give it a 9 out of 10. And its intensity, depending on how you sit and where you sit and the type of cycle you get, kind of varies how intense it is. So for that, I'm going to give it a 7. And then the theme and artwork, again, it is 10 out of 10 because it's a very good theme, and the artwork is very, very good for the for what they got in for with it. Just trying to pick out a clear winner, because I think the clear winner has to be the Tagada. Yeah. And then so that's kind of my decisions on that. And then the last battle are 2 ride types I have not been on. One of these ride types I have hunted down. I know where it is. It's just picking a day to go and try it. It is currently in Breen. It's going to be there for this whole summer season. It's not leaving there until after the summer season. Where it goes after that, it will probably go to Oxford. But the fact that it is in Breen and it's on my doorstep, I have to some point try and get down there. And I'm only really talking about one ride. It is, of course, Air. Absolute. The last time, well, I've seen this ride off-ride twice. The first time I saw this ride was at the Balloon Fiesta in 2016. It might have been 2015, 2016. It came to the Balloon Fiesta. Because the Balloon Fiesta at one point had quite big permission for a lot of Ashton Court to have a lot of rides. Over the years, they've reduced that, unfortunately. But once upon a time, they did have a lot more ground to use. Now it's kind of been shifted and condensed a little bit, which is unfortunate, but obviously understanding considering things. But yeah, and then the other time was Bridgewater. And when I went to Bridgewater, I was very, very, very tempted to do it, but I had been on a lot of intense rides at that point, and I didn't get round to it. I wish I did. But fun fact, when it comes to me and Funfair rides, I have to pick my rides correctly and in the right timing. Else, I cause myself just to throw up, and that could be on a ride that I know I'm okay with. But if I do it in the wrong like lineup or order, I will end up still throwing up. So it's fun. It's a fun game. It's a fun game. But yeah, unfortunately, when it came to Bridgewater, I had to leave Bridgewater, and just experiencing it off ride was enough to know that I really wanted to try it in Bridgewater. And now that it's in Breen, only about half hour away, it's something that I'm going to get done because it's a ride that I really want to try, and it's going to be in Breen for quite a while. So, and then the other ride, I am yet to try. I don't think I will try because it is extremely, extremely intense. Right, it is extremely intense. Top Scan currently, well, it's currently in Barry Island. It did travel to Goose last year. It did leave Barry Island for the first time in a couple of years to go Goose. Then it came swiftly back to its home afterwards. And it's just one of those rides that looks insane, sounds insane, and is insane. And there's a lot of good things out there. So yeah, Air rating speed wise, it from what I've looked and seen, it doesn't look that fast, but I know it does have I know it does go around quite quickly. So for that, we're going to give it an 8. The atmosphere is a 10 out of 10 because it is very, very good. The intensity, again, I don't know. So from what I've seen, I'm going to put it down as an 8 because depending on how you sat when you spin, you could flip, you could not. And again, theme and artwork, it is just visually stunning. It's a visually stunning ride. So yeah, 10 out of 10 on that. And then for Top Scan, speed is ridiculous. It is a 10 out of 10 ride on speed because the speed is something else. Atmosphere, again, 10 out of 10. Intensity, it is very intense. And then the theme and artwork, it's just a 10 out of 10. So for that matter, Top Scan does win, but with Air very, very close behind, like very, very close behind. And that's kind of all the battles there. So I mean, it's been a lot of fun. It's been quite fun just going through different rides. I do thank you for taking time to watch. This video will go up as a video you can watch back after the live stream. So for anyone that didn't watch it, you can just easily rewatch it and go back. But yeah, so just a little like thank you for sticking around. I know Funfairs have been again on the slow side. I'm currently in the just process of things. I need to get a new camera still for on-ride POVs. I'm currently in talks with Breen to see if I can sort something out. But whether or not that will happen, I don't know. If not, I will be going back to Breen to try Air for the first time. So there will be pictures of that day. Hopefully a vlog, but I don't know yet. Depends on what Breen get back to me and say. In terms of Funfairs, we are coming up to the summer season. So like I said at the start of the stream, Thunderworld is back in Bristol. At the end of the month, which I look forward to going to. There is loads and loads and loads of other fun fairs going on in and around the summer. Some local ones, some big ones. I'm going to try and get to Oxford this year, because it's just one that I've looked at every year, and it's one of those fairs it's a 2-day fair, and it's if it works and I can get there, I'm gonna be there because it's one that I've had on my list. And yeah, so just stay tuned. Fairs are on the way. This was a nice something a little bit different. Just discussing my kind of like favorite ride types. It's always been quite fun to do. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next vlog, whichever and whenever that one is. Take care, everyone. See you later. Bye bye for now.